group of washed-up has-beens, total nobodies, and Steve Coogan have waded into the Israel-Hamas war and somehow managed not to condemn the Islamist terrorists. The Artists for Palestine UK body, which sounds like the kind of thing dreamed up by a load of trust fund Oxbridge lovies over a spliff during a warehouse exhibition of bang-average modern art, is a group of around 2,000 people who aren't even household names in their own homes. They say Gaza is already a society of refugees and the children of refugees, now in their hundreds of thousands bombarded from air, sea and land, Palestinians whose grandparents were forced out of their homes at the barrel of a gun are again being told to flee or face collective punishment on an unimaginable scale. They conveniently ignore the fact that their political party that a load of Palestinians voted for rampaged across the Israeli countryside, recently beheading babies. Now, it seems like an odd hill to die on this, arguably aligning with terrorists. They want to boycott Israel completely, this lot. And they are obviously concerned about the idea that this makes them look like anti-Semites, because on the group's website, it includes some handy answers when people ask them questions about their slightly bizarre desire to hammer the Israelis. Questions like, what about the Holocaust? Now, I think when you have to find a way to fend off questions about the Holocaust, you're probably on the wrong side. Although some of the people endorsed by the group Artists for Palestine include Emma Watson, who has, a bit of a checkered track record when it comes to campaigning, doesn't she? I imagine that it might only just be a matter of time before she's at Benjamin Netanyahu's penthouse in Tel Aviv and swimming in the pool and possibly even attending a synagogue. But some of the great victories hailed by this group of uppity little champagne socialists include author Sally Rooney refusing to publish her books in Israel. Oh, wow, I'm sure the Israeli Defence Force is quaking in its boots because Jerusalem's Waterstones can't get hold of a copy of Conversation with Friends. Now, it's the entitlement of these people, isn't it, that really, really gets me. Why do they think that anybody should take a blind bit of notice about what any of them have to say? Half of this lot will be wadded, born into money, or will have done some incredibly fruity things in the 90s, and now they just put their names to stuff like this to make them feel better about their own personal shortcomings. The fact is that half of them would have been torn limb from limb by Hamas if they lived in that part of the world. And that's not Israel's fault. None of the gay signatories would be alive. It's all very well and good saying things like LGBTQ+ for Palestine, but unfortunately for them, Palestine is not for LGBTQ+. None of the women would have done well for themselves, and that's not Israel's fault. This kind of letter is just symptomatic of a load of lovey wet wipes who can afford to have designer views because they've got designer lives. Now, that is, of course, my view.